You know, if there is one song that encapsulates this entire film, it's this one.
We got cabin fever, we're flipping our bandanas. Been stuck at sea so long that we have simply gone bananas. We got cabin fever, we lost what sense we had. We got cabin fever, we're all going mad.
The Shining! Released in 1990 and is directed by Stanley Kubrick, who has directed some pretty fucked up shit. Dr. Strangelove, Full Metal Jacket, Lolita, A Clockwork Orange, Eyes Wide Shut. And this film stars the legendary performance from Jack Nicholson, Shelley Duvall, Scatman Crothers, and Danny Lloyd. Yes, I know it's pronounced Lloyd, but ever since I saw the Lego Ninjago movie, Lloyd is now Loloid, because I like that joke. Jack Torrance is a struggling, aspiring writer and is looking for a nice, quiet place to write his next memoirs. Enter the Overlook Hotel, a secluded, beautiful hotel up in the Colorado Rockies. And Jack has been hired to be the caretaker of the hotel during the long winter season. So Jack brings his wife and son to the hotel, and chaos ensues. Because just like in all horror films, this hotel was built on a Indian burial ground. Yes, in the 1800s, it was built on an Indian burial ground. A lot of bloodshed. But the hotel was constructed anyway. You don't want to go down that road. You'll never come back again. This film just fills every stereotype that I think about when I think of horror films. Oh, by the way, this is my very first viewing all the way through of The Shining. I know, I have my own movie review channel on YouTube, and I'm calling myself a movie reviewer, and I've never seen The Shining. But that changed today! Now, I had seen the majority of the iconic scenes from the film. Here's Johnny! All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Red rum. Red rum. Red rum. But I never knew the story about how these people got to this hotel, and why they didn't leave. And I'm still asking that question. But this is one of Stanley Kubrick's most popular films that he ever made. Based on a novel, of course, from Stephen King, who, as I learned from Ready Player One, absolutely despised this film. Because I guess it doesn't follow the book at all? Which, what film really follows the book? Heck, even Ready Player One, almost completely different thing. I still liked it, though. So I have not read the novel. I do not know how they compare. I'm just going into this blind, just with the film. And it was okay. I'm not the biggest horror film fan, but I do respect this film's legacy and the impact that it had when it was released. Because I have to remind myself in my mind that every horror, jump scare that I'm seeing in this film kind of originated around this time. Whereas nowadays, you see these types of things in every horror film. The weird old grandmother naked in a shower coming at you to kill you. The weird-ass kid who's schizophrenic and has his own imaginary friend. Yeah, as I'm watching this movie, I'm like, oh, I've seen these things before. But they originated around this time. So I really have to be lenient on my score that I give this film, because this was the time that it was originating, but I've seen these tropes so many times before in other films. Some of them were done better than this, some of them, well, a lot of them not so much. But leading up to this, I always thought that this was like a ghost story, like these people were being possessed in some way. Come to find out, though, that really there's no possession that happens in here. This story is actually a human story. Are there supernatural aspects involved? Yes, particularly with the kid, but really, when we get down to Jack and Shelley Duvall, the madness that ensues is all mental. And doing research on this film, it's a line that I found that Stanley Kubrick said that I really, really enjoyed. He was talking about how every human, there's a dark side to every human. There's some kind of evil in every single one of us. Regardless of how good of a person you are on the outside, everyone has that little tiny demon or devil deep down. For Jack Torrance in this film, he's a recovering alcoholic and he's abusive to his family. Shelley Duvall, I guess, would be a psyche of being in denial of the evil things that Jack is doing to her and her son. Also being in denial that your son is absolutely insane. Your son walks around the house doing this, speaking to someone, and whenever they speak to someone, their voice goes down here. And you didn't think to call the doctor before this? Oh, just bunch of stupid people. We'll get to that. But it's an exploration into the human psyche, which was the aspect that I really loved. It wasn't a ghost. It wasn't like an actual devil that was possessing these people that made Jack turn evil. No, it was just the inner demon that he had. He started drinking again and thinking about all the grief that he was getting from his wife, about how he dislocated his son's shoulder one day. Was it an accident? Yeah, probably was. But he hasn't had a drink in 5 months. But I think that's a beautiful choice for a horror picture. In terms of the performances with this film, I don't think there's anything special going on here. Jack Nicholson is, at least in my opinion, is just being Jack Nicholson, kind of going wild and crazy. And it felt to me like he wasn't in that much of this film. Shelley Duvall, just throw in the towel with her. One of the biggest cases of overacting I've ever seen on screen. All right, now Shelley, run away from Jack. Now, in her defense, she had a very rough going in shooting this film. Stanley Kubrick was just an absolute dick. He made her shoot the scene where Jack is going crazy for the first time and she's holding the bat, made her shoot that scene 127 times. Why? It's such a physically and emotionally draining scene initially. Why do you need 127 takes? And it wasn't that the other takes were good. No. He was just doing it to be a dick. Oh, to get the most authentic performance out of her. But I'm reading reports of how exhausted and how dehydrated she was because she was crying during that scene that she almost gave up acting after this. After this. Which I am all for getting a genuine performance from your actor, but there is a safe way to do it. But I guess the safe ways don't make headlines, so what do I know? I'm just doing movie reviews on YouTube. And Danny Lloyd, you know what? He's a good child actor. He's got that adorable charm about him, but he also managed to creep me the fuck out. I don't know who taught him the voice that he got, or if that was just something that he did initially in the original audition, but my God, creepy as fuck. Well, the actors, they're all serviceable. Scatman Crothers, he's that man who knows too much in the horror film. And apparently there's something with time travel where their consciousness can see the future. That part was totally lost on me. But like I said, there's nothing special there. But really what's special is the technical aspect of this film. Number one, the music. And note to self, never watch this film when you're in a room full of cats, because they do not like high-pitched noises. And this film is basically all one high pitch. So as they're cuddling with you, their claws just sink into your thighs like that every time they hear the screeching. It's an effective device to use though in a horror film because that shrieking, it mimics the shrieks of a newborn baby crying. And those pitches, and in some people's experience with a newborn about the exhaustion and the pain and the fatigue that you have with a newborn child, just brings back terrible memories. It makes you feel uneasy and unsettled, and this film was everything like that. And this was one of the first films that started using the device known as the Steadicam, which is a camera that separates the movement of the cameraman and the actual camera. I mean, nowadays you see it all the time, but back then it was such new technology. So it made panning shots and tracking shots seem seamless, and it's beautiful to look at. I think that's my biggest takeaway from this film, is that this film is really interesting to look at. The aesthetic of the hotel, the carpet, the elevator full of blood just come crashing at you at random times, but it's still an interesting visual. The use of red rum in the mirror, Jack Nicholson taking an axe and chopping down a door, it's all effective. Doesn't take away though from the story being a little stupid in my opinion. Or at least these characters. They're not bright. My son talks to himself and has blackouts. Oh, my husband is an alcoholic who is abusive. Yeah, sure, let's go to this nice secluded hotel room in the Colorado Rockies. You know, the hotel that has a huge bar in it. Yeah, let's go spend the winter there. Just stupid. Fucking stupid. So guys, in the end, The Shining, again, the characters, the actors here, nothing special. This is a visual masterpiece. The use of music, the use of non-dialogue, the exploration of the evil side of our human psyches is really interesting to see. And for it being 1980, I can see why a lot of people were terrified with this film, because these were scary images that we had never seen on screen before. Now, as someone in 2019 watching this film for the first time, these are things I've definitely seen before. So if I was watching this like 20 years ago, I may have been giving this a higher score, but this time around, the visuals, everything was beautiful for me, but the acting suffered and the characters suffered. So I'm gonna give The Shining 3 out of 5 Blu-rays.
Not exactly what I had in mind, but not bad.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part in my videos, where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next. And my next movie comes as a fan recommendation from one of my longtime friends, Bill Portman. He had a previous recommendation on this channel with Starship Troopers. Wonderful film. He has directed Iron Sky, a film that I have never heard of before. I may have vaguely seen a commercial for it here and there years ago, but from what I gather, this is about Nazis on the moon. So I hope this is a comedy, Bill, because this is I have a feeling that this is gonna be like Sharknado level film reviewing. Bill, I'm hoping that after I see this film, I love you even more. I have a feeling, though, that I'm gonna hate you even more after this. But thank you, Bill, for the recommendation. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on this channel, please leave your comment below this video or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter. Leave your recommendation there, and if I have access to it, I'll review it on here and give you a shout out on the channel. So everyone, have you seen The Shining? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, please comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, when you're done commenting, please like and subscribe to this channel so you know the next time I post my next movie review. So everyone, I will see you next time with my review of Iron Sky. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.